provision in the new investment law, such as tax exemption, incentive, and investment protections, are tailored to make it easier for us to comprehend and pave for a smoother and more efficient process for company to invest in Cambodia. We need to be on the same page and agree that a workable and practical law that will benefit both the investor and the government of the people and the people of Cambodia is essential. For example, by doing so, we will be able to create more jobs, and burden brought about by hiring new workers will be considerably lessened. No longer must they become obstacle to foreign investment. I believe this is what Cambodia is striving for. This new law certainly highlights the Cambodian government's seriousness to be even more business friendly and invest more investment. And I'm sure that their painstaking effort will bear fruits in the coming months and years. Through this new law on investment initiated by the Cambodian government, I am confident that the kingdom will be able to seize opportunity and usher in the momentum for the next leap forward. Yes, some may say that whatever new initiative or incentive that is implemented, such as this new investment law, we are still not able to move ahead much because of COVID-19. Nevertheless, we must remember that there is an end to any crisis, and we must remind ourselves that a crisis is an opportunity. What we need now more than ever is our creative entrepreneurship and the courage to take up any challenges, wherever it may be. If we employ this mindset, business would sooner than later start to hum again. In addition, Cambodia is and always be the land of immense potentials and endless possibilities, and is the land where everything is possible. Therefore, please make maximum use of this opportunity presented today to benefit your investment portfolio. Ladies and gentlemen, as I have many times stated, even in my first day in Phnom Penh, among my chief aims is to place Malaysia at the top of the least investors in Cambodia. Obviously, when you look at the Cambodia's FDI chart, China is distantly ahead of the rest of the pack, but that does not make it impossible to somewhat them one day, and we should at least give it a try. That's why you can see clearly how myself and MBCC work very hard in organizing many business engagements such as this event, forum and discussion, and we could not have done it without the constant strong support by the government of Cambodia. The good thing is we are already in good position to achieve top spot one day. Malaysia is already in the third position, just behind South Korea and China in terms of total FDI in Cambodia. We are in there with the giants of global economy, and this is something that every Malaysian here and their Cambodian friends can be proud of, considering our nation size. So let's not waste on this milestone we have built, and let's strive for even more. We hope that this new law can further facilitate and most of all welcome foreign investors by providing a friendly and accommodating business environment. I do hope and strongly believe that the new Cambodian will do their best to make our business environment market friendly and a place where domestic and foreign companies are treated fairly and equally. Building up from this, I do hope that Cambodian authorities can provide various other incentives to companies investing in Cambodia. This will definitely get the intention of many investors to come and take opportunity to establish office in this kingdom. As for me, I assure you that I will continue to support and assist as much as I possibly can to ensure that Malaysian investors will be successful in Cambodia. With this, once again, say kudos to all of you and my very best wishes.
I wish Him Excellency all the best for his mission when our foreign minister is here. So when during 8:55, so when my phone rang, I saw Excellency call. So he said, "Have you started? Can you wait for me?" So I said, "Thank you, Excellency. We definitely wait for you." Again, with a sincere thank you, MBCC is really want to thank Your Excellency. Is always be here to support us, and without fear, he always support each of our activities. His Excellency Eldin Hussaini, Malaysian Ambassador to Cambodia. His Excellency Trud Wichet, Cambodian Ambassador to Malaysia. His Excellency Sokchanda Sopiet, Minister attached to Prime Minister and Secretary General of Council for Development of Cambodia. Distinguished guests from relevant government departments, ministry, distinguished friends from Malaysian Business Chamber, fellow members, invited guests, ladies and gentlemen, and also the 219 audience online, still counting, from Malaysia and Mekong regions. Today, the key topic is on the new law on investment of Cambodia, which is one of the key and fundamental law and regulation for FDI and the growth of Cambodian economy. The handsome growth of Cambodian GDP in the past 2 decades speaks for itself as how the country has been prospering year by year. Thanks to the investment guarantee and incentive of the law on investment and under the stable political and wise leadership of the Cambodian government, led by Samdech Aka Moha Sena Pede Techok Hun Sen. Over the past 2 decades, Cambodia has undergone a significant transition, reaching lower middle income status in 2015 and aspiring to attain upper middle income status by 2030. Driven by government and export and government and industry, Cambodia's economy has sustained an average annual growth of 7.7% between 1998 and 2019.
We are here today to present to you the new investment law. And it's really new. Back in 1994, we adopted the law on investment in the Kingdom of Cambodia. You can see, I'd like to tell you that since that time, Cambodia has made the choice to be open to private initiative. Back in 1994, in many countries in our region, there were 2 laws managing investment. One for the national, domestic investors, and another one, it's the law on foreign investment, not in Cambodia. The reason is simple, is that at that time, we didn't have electricity. Mohan was here. You came later, but you cannot imagine how Phnom Penh was in 1994. Of course, the international community has committed, after the peace agreement, to assist Cambodia to rebuild itself. But we understood that how much they can be generous, but it's still not enough. So very pragmatically, and you know how Prime Minister Samdech Hun Sen is pragmatic. He made the decision. Let's open our doors to foreign investors. And back in 1994, the title of the law was Law on Investment, so it's the same law for national and foreigners. And to join action towards, I'd like to inform Your Excellency that at that time, not many countries in our region have opened all sectors to foreign investment. Sometimes they open it, but then they limit. Foreigners can have only 49%. No. Since 1994, we have opened all sectors of activities to foreign investors, and foreigner can do business without, if they wish, without any local partner, 100%. So sectors that are considered as sensitive in many countries, telecom, banking, agriculture. The banker look at me. He's a happy banker. All those sectors considered as sensitive were open and are open. I remind you this law to tell you that in 2003, 10 years later, we think that we have to update it a bit. So we made the amendment in 2003 to the law on investment. And then a lot of investors were enjoying the business environment in Cambodia, but at the same time, they express their wishes, and we listen to them. I tell you this because you didn't have yet the chance to attend what some of you here have attended already, the Government Private Sector Forum. In December 1999, here at the CDC, we have organized the first Government Private Sector Forum, chaired by the Prime Minister, and all ministers were attending, all governors were attending, and 300 representatives of the private sector joined the meeting. And in March 2019, we have organized the 18th Government Private Sector Forum, but since COVID, we didn't have it. I think that if the situation will improve, I'm quite sure that we will have such forum, and you will be invited, of course. When we draft this law, before having interministerial discussion, meeting with colleagues from other ministries, we have invited the private sector to look at it and tell us what you think. And you will see it's not anymore an amendment, it's a brand new law. And this law, not because we are behind it, but definitely this law is much better than the previous one. Better, I just don't mention better because it will provide more fiscal incentive. No, yes, it does, but at the same time, it is so timely. We all know that we are living in a troubled time. The keyword for all businessmen, or either you are selling goods or providing services, the keyword now is disruption. Everything has been disrupted and still is disrupted, and there is uncertainty for the future. But let's be optimistic. And in the context of post-recovery, let's call it like this, let's look forward, this law will definitely help investors to move. We wish really investors to take the opportunities that are offered thanks, and I link to the ASEAN retreat, thanks to the fact that 10 countries has worked hard years after years to build up this ASEAN community. We should, governments, ministers are meeting, are discussing, but the people who give life, who will give life to the ASEAN economic communities, it's you. We are just paving the way for you. And in this context of ASEAN economic communities, our law fit completely in. We will go into detail later on, but some friends were saying, hey, you took a lot of time to prepare it. We recognize that we took time. And last information. Actually, the draft was ready by December 2019. And we are lucky that we didn't move to the cabinet and approve, and then National Assembly approve. Because of COVID, we would have to amend it. And it's not good to amend a law just 1 year after. But as it was only a draft, when COVID arrived, we took time to look at it. And this law is much better than the draft that we have finalized in December 2019, because we took into account those disruptions. We took into account that the world is asking for more green activities, and you will see we took into account that, for example, human resources in Cambodia can be, for some activities, a problem, and we give maximum incentive to companies who are spending money in human resource development. I will not take more time because the briefing from my colleague will be much more important, and I'm looking forward for the Q&A, because for me, it is the most important. CDC is not very good when we speak. We are not good because we are the doers. We prefer to do, and I would like to close, Excellency, as you have mentioned, and I knew already, not only through your speech, I follow some of your posting, I saw your picture, and you are really with your business community. On our side, I like to tell you, Excellency, and some of our friends here can testify, CDC is always at the disposal of investors, especially at the disposal of the Malaysian business community.